to the Truckin' Journey. I'm Trucker Jim, and this is episode 93. I'm coming to you from the Jim Beam Distribution Center here in Frankfort, Kentucky, also known as DHL. But I am backed up to the dock. I got just under 3 hours left on my 14, just under 2 hours left on my drive clock, and well, hopefully I won't be spending the next 10 hours here. My plan is to get out of here and get parked at a Planet Fitness that's in this same town so I can get a early morning workout. It's been a few days since I've uploaded an episode. I didn't do one at the end of last week like I had intended to. I did, however, upload episode 92, which was FedEx truck crash, which was during the Valentine's Day week and all that good stuff. If you hadn't seen it, make sure you go back and check it out. It's a pretty cool video. But I do have a little footage that I'd filmed the last few days of the week, and then I took some time off, did a 34-hour reset. I didn't do any video editing. Sorry guys, but I'm starting fresh today. But before we get into all the exciting things that's gonna happen between now and Saturday, why don't we take a little rewind and check it out. That is 20 minutes. Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to the Truckin' Journey. I'm Trucker Jim. This is episode 93, and I'm in Columbia, Tennessee. I've just completed my record time double dropping hook. From the moment that I got here till my empty macro was complete and all the trailer swapping and all that stuff was done was 20 minutes. I did not, however, do anything with kingpin locks. My rule of thumb, if there's not a kingpin lock when I get here, there ain't gonna be one on when I leave unless I am told otherwise by, you know, the guys here at Lowe's. That didn't happen, so I didn't worry about it. So 20 minutes, that's pretty good. And you guys, when you go, you know, like the ones that hadn't seen, you know, any of my videos or anybody else talking about them that hadn't had like any previous experience in doing the double dropping hook, it's probably going to take over an hour. Yeah, it really is. I don't know, without technique, I can see it definitely taking, you know, 45 minutes. In the past, heck, you know, anything less than a half hour was pretty good. But I thought about it, and I had very, very little wasted motion on it. I'm not going to go over all of that. Shut up! My load bolt's going off. I'm heating up some leftover Caribbean dropping hook jambalaya in the microwave for my lunch. But in an upcoming episode, it's not going to be a Truckin' Journey episode, it's going to be a specific episode about the double dropping hook. Once I have a student on board, I'm going to break it down in detail, because the chances of us getting extra pay, I don't know, it's possible, but it hasn't happened yet, so I can't promise you it's going to happen in the near future. But one thing we can do to increase our pay is to increase our efficiency and get it done and get back out on the road getting the mileage pay. But I'm gonna enjoy my lunch. Let's see how quick I can get in and out of this Milliken. The bills for my trailer I'm taking, they're in there. So I'm gonna go get them, and then I'm gonna unhook, find my trailer, which should be right in the same general area, hook up to it, do my macro, and get the hell out of here. Go! There's the loaded trailer I'm taking, 80228. There's an empty spot for my empty trailer. Okay, I have swapped trailers. Now let's do our macro. Need the bills to do that. Okay, from the time I arrived, went inside, got my bills, dropped my empty, hooked up to my loaded trailer, and did my macro, it took 10 minutes. I don't care who you are, that is freaking efficient. But I'm putting the address in the GPS of where to go, and I remember from like the 2 previous times, my GPS don't know where the hell Global Drive is. It's like it don't exist in the world of Rand McNally. And I'm wanting to say Apple don't know either, and I have to use Google Earth. So I'm getting ready to have to use my iPhone to do that. But when I get to this place, because I'm going to be going back to this same place tomorrow, I'm doing 2 of these same loads. I'm going to show you guys. Now you got to figure out how to get there the first time, but if you're in a situation like that, you can drop like a pin on your GPS and save it in your address book, and it'll get you back to that longitude, latitude, or whatever location in the future, even though the street address isn't in there. So let me do that now. Okay, let's try Apple first. It's 124 Global. Ah, there we go. It is an Apple. Now, another way we could do this time is look for the intersection. The way you do that, instead of hitting address or city center, you do intersection and start typing in the city. Dalton, Georgia. And what was it? Southampton and East Industrial. So it brings up a list of streets that have Hamilton. Here's South Hamilton. And the intersecting street is East Industrial Boulevard. So we'll start spelling out industrial. And it slowly types it out. East Industrial Boulevard. I always like to do compare routes. The reason you want to do compare routes is it shows it on the map on your GPS screen. Most of the time it's pretty damn obvious which way you're going to go. Like in this case, we are definitely not taking the green route. But yep, we're just going to hop over to 24, head down to Chattanooga, and then over to Dalton. And it's going to take us a little over 3 hours. So to recap, if you're trying to put in an address in your Rand McNally and it won't go, well, the first thing to do is check how you're putting it in. If you're trying to put south, north, east, west, any of that stuff in as first, well, it usually don't work that way. And then like highways can be tricky too. Sometimes you got to put the abbreviation of the state. Sometimes you have to put like US. It varies before the number is. But other times, it's just a new street that isn't on there. So in that situation, instead of having to follow your phone the whole way, if you do have a trucker GPS, look for the closest cross street to that, and that'll get you there. Now, we're getting on the road, but when I get there, I'll show you how to save it in your address book for future reference. It's a place you think, you'll probably, go to every so often. But let's get on the road. Global. Looks like these dots are full. Are these full too? All right. We are unhooked from that trailer. Now just to find someone to sign my bills. I think this is the door to go in. All right, that was easy. Now to walk back to the truck, head to the Chattanooga yard. Ooh, I almost forgot to show you guys how to drop a pin for your location. Okay, well, I'm sitting here, so that part's done. Okay, here's what you do. It's very simple. The gear, which is always settings and everything, you tap that. It says save current location. Okay, maybe that's why I'm not getting here. It's calling it 252 Keene Drive. So, no. And then you can give it a name. You can name it whatever you like, but I've typed in the business name and the address that GMP always gives me. And you hit enter. But if I look in address book now, Global Textiles, 124 Global Drive is in there. And for you GMP guys, I don't know why, who in IT has set it up this way, but anytime GMP dispatches you to one of our yards, one of our terminals, one of the southeastern yards, it's just got the name of it. It's never got the address. So you either have to send a message, hey, what's the address? How do I get there? Or most of the time, like if it's a southeastern yard or something, you can just Google it and get the address. But once you do that the first time, I always just put it in my Rand McNally, because chances are pretty high if you stay here any amount of time, they'll send you back there again. But now, we're going to head to the Chattanooga yard. All right. Good morning. I'm awake. It's Wednesday. I'm still in Frankfort, Kentucky, but thank goodness I'm not at Jim Beam. I am parked out in front of a Planet Fitness. You know, some days it's hard enough to get up and pin a bottle and make a cup of coffee. It's even more of a challenge, if you will, to get up and walk into a gym and get on the elliptical or the treadmill and, you know, hit a few weights. But that's exactly what I'm doing today. I'm not going to take you guys in the gym, but I will show you my new workout gear. Alright, I got a workout in. It is time to get on the road. But first, I will make coffee. But these are my new workout shorts, and this is my workout t-shirt. But I got those the other day when I decided I was going to start working out a couple of days a week. The first impulse was, hey, I need to get some new clothes to work out in, you know. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to get a minimum of 5 workouts in with whatever I got already. And then after that, I will reward myself with a new shirt and a new pair of shorts. And these are them. They're Nike. They're made with the, you know, the like stuff that dries quickly from sweat and all that. So I hope they dry out pretty quick, because I did sweat in them a little bit. But I'm gonna make some coffee, and then we're gonna get on the road. But we got to stop at a cat scale, because this load's pretty heavy. It's over 42,000 pounds. And weigh it real quick. I think you guys done seen me do that enough. I don't need to show you again. And I don't know. We may go through a weigh station. Maybe it'll be closed. I don't know. I need to weigh the load nonetheless. But we are taking this to the Greer yard to drop it. And not sure what's next. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a load of tires going to Louisville. Alright guys, I am pulled over on the side of I-75 here at Rarity Mountain, and I can't take it any longer. There has not been one speck of drone footage in this entire episode. What do you say? Let's get some drone footage. Alright, now I feel a little bit better because there's some drone footage in this episode. And I'm going to end with some drone footage as well, which leads me into my story I'm going to end this episode with. So, yesterday after I T-called in Greer, I was told I had a hot load that's coming up here to right where I'm at now in Portland, Tennessee, a load of tires coming from Michelin. Well, to shorten this story up, I picked them up and started making my way to Tennessee. I was pretty low on time. I could have went to the Greer yard, but I'm a little low on groceries, so I decided not. I'm going to park at the TA on exit 63. It's only like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so parking shouldn't be a problem. There's a Pilot right across the street that have a Wendy's, but I don't want Wendy's. I was going to get, that country, whatever TA has. Ease across at 4 o'clock in the morning during my pre-trip, go ahead and fuel up and get on my way and make my 12 o'clock delivery, which at the time I really didn't know I had a set delivery time because this has to be live unloaded, so they had to set lumpers up for it. Well, I get to the TA and I see quite a few open parking spots, like probably 100 of them, but they were all reserved. So I rode around again, and all the ones that wasn't reserved had a truck in them, or a truck and a trailer in them. And I ain't into this bullshit of paying for parking. I've been here in TA, and Petro especially has made like half or sometimes over half of their parking spots paid parking. You guys can hit me up with your stories in the comments. Well, I backed on into one and did my thing for a little bit, and I've never paid for parking in my life. But I'd heard people say, well, if you get 50 gallons of fuel or spend $15 in the restaurant or the store or something, that takes care of it. So I did that in the restaurant. I waited in line for a little bit on my way out, but there's just too many truckers, and I had shit to do, So I went on out, and I eventually went to sleep. About 9:30, I hear a knock on the door. So I did what any respectable trucker would do, and I ignored it. And then I heard another knock. So I got up. There was a guy with a clipboard. Asked, I don't know, like if I had a receipt or anything. I said, absolutely. And I showed him my $15 receipt from the restaurant. And well, he informed me it's $18 to park here. And that restaurant shit story that I'd been thinking is not the case at this TA. And okay, and then he said, but I can't make you leave. I was like, well, that's awesome. If you can't make me leave, I'm going to go back here and get some sleep because I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I rolled my window back up, and I did just that. About 2 hours later, I heard a knock at my door, and I did what any respectable truck driver would do. I completely ignored it. And then I heard another knock, and then the third one was back in the back, and they were beating the shit out of my truck. Sounded like they were doing it with a baseball bat. I got up in my underwear, madder than hell. Open up the door, there's two security guys wearing security hats, shining flashlights and everything, and I was screaming at them. I was so pissed off. I don't even remember what I was saying. But they informed me, well, this is reserved parking, and all reserved parkings are already taken. Meaning I couldn't even pay $18 at this point at 11:30 at night. I said, what's that mean? I gotta leave? I'm like, yeah. Oh God, I was so freaking mad. I ended up switching it to off-duty drive, and technically you're really not supposed to do this because you're not supposed to advance the load. Well, I didn't advance it. I went backwards, back 5 miles to where the terminal was, and got shut down, and I couldn't fall back to sleep for crap. And then I came across this super funny video by this oh, you guys gotta check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description box of this video, but it's called like Outcast Trucker Thor Exposed. I think it's just some guy in disguise. He has like a hat on, sunglasses, a beard, and he is funnier than you know what. He's got a real funny nickname for RVT, but he's talking about little guy, little dog, J Canal. But it's not just, dissing other people. He's just funny. He takes a swig out of one of these. You just gotta see the video. It's really funny. So I was up, I watched that, and I finally fell back asleep, and when 4 o'clock came, I wasn't ready to get up. So I hit snooze. I didn't wake up again, truck drivers, till like 5:30. So I'm like, oh heck. And I'm rushing, you know, get ready to start my pre-trip and everything. My fleet manager calls. He's like, are you on the road yet? I was like, no. And he's like, why? You're supposed to be there at, you know, 12 o'clock. We've already set lumpers up and all that. And I'm 300 and something miles away from it at this point. So he was not too happy about that. And then later on, I get a call from Jim Gibson saying he had good news and bad news. Good news is, I already kind of knew what it is. I'm going to have a student next week. A guy I call Kentucky. You guys will meet him, you know, in an episode next week. But the bad news is, he had, like, when you wear a red shirt, that means you're a trainer for the company. The microscope is on you at all times because they hold us trainers here at GMP, which this is a good thing. I'm not, you know, knocking it at all, to a very high standard. And oversleeping and delivering late is one of those things that, you know, is not just brushed off as no big deal, which I absolutely have no kind of tendency or history of doing this. I just got woke up 2 times in the middle of the night, and I had trouble falling back to sleep, and I hit snooze. I may have even hit it a second time. I know that's not awesome. You guys, I know I'm going to have comments about that. I know it's unprofessional, guys, but I'm not one of these guys that says I run my face off, but I really act like a bum. When I make little mistakes, I'm going to share it with you guys because I want to bring awareness to, well, the things that we can be really good at, which we only know that when, you know, these moments that we have a lapse in judgment, or, you know, a lack of discipline, or make some kind of mistake, which I did today. And I know I'm going to get a comment from somebody saying, did you pre-trip that trailer that you did in 10 minutes, Jim? Yes, I did, but it don't take me 15 minutes to check tires, check brake, make sure lights come on, and then roll ass. But I hope you enjoyed that story, guys. I hope somebody maybe gets a lesson from it that will help them out in the future. I think the big lesson I learned is I ain't parking in no freaking TA. They got them old crazy parking spots anyway. Especially when I got a Planet Fitness or a terminal that I could park at instead. That's what I'm going to do, because they will receive $0 from Chuck or Jim. UTA. Hey, but if you like this video, do like my man Jeremy here and his son, and give it the thumbs up. But thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. And I will be going live every Thursday at 7 o'clock, so if you're available, check in. It's always cooler live than listening to the playback. But until next time, be safe out there and keep on trucking.